Welcome back, everyone. Today I want to begin with people talking about the summer slowdown, where it's more like the summer void. It's more like the summer abyss. Here we are on a Friday. I'll speak about my location. Everybody has their own point of view in their market. I can accept that. Now, in my neck of the woods, on a Friday, I get about 50 orders with DoorDash. Today, I'm sitting out there in the afternoon for 3 hours, not a single order showing up on the DoorDash app. Whatever order, zero. And Uber Eats, ever since the update, they're throttling drivers that want to make them quit. They don't want to send you any orders at all. They only want the people who are 30 or 50% and higher, because they'll take a $2 going to the next state, and they don't want anybody else anymore. They want to force drivers to quit who are under the percent that they want. They don't want people to pick and choose anymore. That's Uber Eats for you. And having 100% customer satisfaction, which is the most important thing on the planet, the most important thing, they don't care for their customers at all. Why? Because you're not being rewarded for that. They don't care for that. You're not getting anything for that. The only thing you're going to get is if you do charity work for them, pay out of your own pocket to make these offers, so you can get your percentage up to 50% and higher, so they can give you a little bit more breadcrumbs to eat. And even then, you're still going to have to take shitty orders to keep that percentage above 50 if you want to get anywhere. And that's the games that they're playing. There you go. Shanksters, all of them. They're all a bunch of shanksters. And DoorDash today, zero for 3 hours in the morning, and then, well, in the afternoon, and then 3 hours in the evening. Total offers that came in with DoorDash, there were 5. And I usually get about 50 on a Friday or Saturday. And then we got Instacart. Instacart has redefined the Webster's Dictionary. They're going to give you a definition of what a tip is. Well, the tip has already been defined 80 years ago, when tips became a thing. There already has been a description of what a tip means. A tip is a gratuity for goods and services provided by the individual. Okay? Not because the supermarket is missing an item, but that's Instacart's definition. Just like DoorDash has their own dictionary and their own language, Instacart is pretty much with the DoorDash handbook. Now, Instacart has their own dictionary and their own language as well. There you go. That's where we're going with this. So according to Instacart, a tip is a reflection of the items that are in the order. Really now? You just came on the scene how many years ago? And what a tip is described as, it's been described a long time ago, ages ago, of what it is. And Instacart just came on the scene how many years? 5, 6 years? They're rewriting the English language in the dictionary. They know it all. And if you're missing an item, they deduct $1 from the customer's tip without the customer's knowledge. If you substitute that item, they'll still remove $1 from the customer's tip without the customer's knowledge. Now, you substitute something, but the customer didn't like the substitution, so he wants a refund. They'll still deduct $1 from your tips, from the customer tips, without the customer's knowledge. And when you tell when you tell the customer what's going on, you know what the customer says? Oh, Instacart told me that you get 100% of my tip. They don't say nothing to the customer. But if I find out say that whatever customer it is, if I find out they put in a tip, let's say, for an example, $5, and the whole thing with the items, whatever shenanigans with the items, either a refund or it was a substitution, and Instacart removed the dollar. So far we know, without the customer's approval and without the customer's knowledge. I want to find out if that dollar goes back to the customer's bank account as a refund to the tip. Are they seeing a refund from Instacart from the tips that they're showing the drivers that it's getting minus from? So if the customer put in a $5 tip, Instacart deducts $1 out of the 5. That means the customer only paid 4, and the customer should get back $1 back in their account. Are they getting that $1 back? And if they're not, there's going to be war. There's going to be freaking war. There's still the war is on. But that's going to be the icing. If the customers are not getting that tip back that they put in, that Instacart removed, because of whatever shenanigans, their definition of what a tip is. It's a percentage of the items. No, it's not. The tip reflects the driver's goods and services, and it goes solely directly to that person, to the driver. And it can only be deducted by the customer if the driver was late, which is on the driver, or the driver not only was late, the driver was rude at the door, he was being obnoxious. They can still deduct the tip from that. They never deduct the tip from the drivers if the supermarkets where you're picking up orders from, they don't have that particular item. And that applies to regular restaurants. They don't do regular restaurants with Instacart, but just to get an idea, when you go to a restaurant and you got to pick up 3 pizzas and a salad, they don't have salads, they ran out of salads. So you end up delivering the 3 pizzas. Do you ever see a customer remove the tip because of that? Whatever the tip they're giving you is for you. Only if you did something as a driver that reflects you, that has something to do with the driver himself, yeah, that's understandable. We understand that. But where in the contract it says that a driver is responsible for the inventory of the supermarket? Where is that in the terms of service? I don't see that anywhere. Where? Chapter 6, paragraph 5, where? Where is it? Show me where it says that the driver is responsible for the inventory of the supermarket. So why is the driver being punished then? Why? And don't I want to hear shenanigans? There's no excuse on this. The tip it's already been defined of what it is ages ago, before all the gig economy. This goes back ages ago when tips became a thing. Back in the 60s or in the 50s. So we're talking about way longer than where Instacart and the rest of them are today. Instacart is not going to rewrite the Webster's Dictionary. I'm sorry. And the rest of them applies to DoorDash and Uber Eats. That's what they're doing with these terms of service. They're rewriting the English language. And anything they put in there is law. No, that's not how it works. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. But we'll see how this is going to drag on. I want to find out, are the customers getting their tip back? Well, what I'm saying is that the money that they put in a tip, and Instacart decides to do $1 refund out of that customer tip, is that money going back to the customer's wallet or in their bank account or in their account? Are they checking this shit out? Are they tracing this stuff? And anybody that does Instacart, talk to your customers. Ask them. Or ask if that order that you did with Instacart, it shows that you did a reimbursement, you guarantee, you're getting $1 off the tips. Ask the customer that I'm getting deducted for this order because there was a reimbursement for an item. Can you please check to see if you're getting that dollar, it's going back to you. And if it's not, it's going to Instacart. Because if customers are not checking up on this, they're going to let this fly, because this is what they were doing. Grubhub was doing shenanigans, not exactly like this, but the type of shit like this. They were doing with restaurants instead of customers. Okay? Grubhub was guilty, DoorDash is guilty, Uber Eats is guilty, all of them. All of them. Walmart, you name it, all of them. Stink to high heaven, all these companies. But I like to find out from people who are customers, are you getting that money back that Instacart is removing out of the tips? That's what I like to find out. And with that, I let everybody go. And leave it in the comments. I'm going to try and find out, though. I'm going to try and find out. See you later, guys.